Bad Brothers, baby.
Face breakdown.
Well, yeah. Welcome to the show. It's the it's the Bad Brothers Babyface breakdown. We are the Bad Brothers. This is Big Bubba Brogdon.
Yeah, I'm Big Bubba Brogdon.
Yeah. And the new crew,
Improved.
Boosh Dingo, the Lucha Dork.
We did the exact same thing.
Rocking some new colors.
Got some blue in there.
Yeah, got the orange and blue, man. Had to rep A-Town up. I don't know.
Where's my club soda?
You may need something harder than club soda.
I swear. But yeah, every week we've done this. This is episode 10. 10 episode anniversary. Woo!
Yay.
Perfect 10. There will be no controversy this episode.
We'll see.
No controversy this episode.
I mean, you recall the week that we've had?
I need a promise. I get it. We've had this kind of week, but this is the 10th episode. This is a special thing. I get it. There's a lot of stuff to unpack from this week. Just, I don't know.
We'll try to avoid the controversy as much as possible. We'll talk about the controversy. We'll just try to avoid being controversial ourselves.
Yes. Okay. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Our opinion out the window.
Yeah, man. Where you wanna start?
I don't know. Where should we start? Raw?
Sure. Didn't watch Raw. Didn't watch SmackDown. I caught some clips, caught some highlights, caught some news, but didn't watch either program myself. So
I watched a little bit of Raw. I definitely watched SmackDown. My God. That was a show. There were good things in that show, and there were just laughable things from that show. But yeah, we'll start off with Raw.
I guess I saw pretty interesting. Alexa Bliss seemed to kind of have like some mind control issues going on. Kind of snapped for a moment. Almost turned on Bianca Belair, put her in the Sister Abigail pose. He snapped out of it at the last minute, and I guess they're teasing some sort of affiliation with Bray Wyatt there. I don't know if it's going to be what people expect it to be in terms of her being part of his group, or if they're just kind of exploiting the history between the two.
I think it might just be history, or it might just be correlation that she's feeling that spiritual presence that he's back, so it's coming back over her.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that that's what it is. I lean more towards it being something of that nature. I think, you read online, everybody seems to think that, that was a giveaway that she's going to join his faction and
turn heel again.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible, sure. I don't think that that's the case, and I hope that's not the case. I think it would be more interesting
if she fights it off.
Yeah, and is able to kind of overcome that and stay kind of on her own path. But it's a good way, I think, of acknowledging the history, and instead of just kind of acting like that whole experiment never happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of the clips that I caught. I think it's pretty cool. That's really all I seem to recall from Raw. I think I caught another clip or two, but it's not really coming to me at the moment.
I mean, I would have brought up some news about Bobby Lashley being fired, but Adam Pearce already spoiled into that, saying that Bobby Lashley wasn't fired. So there goes that.
Yeah, I did see a clip of that. Now that you mention it, it did seem like a work to me. Didn't seem like they were officially like kicking him to the can. Unlike the NXT chick.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, just laying the groundwork.
Yeah, just hang on. We'll get to that.
But yeah, I guess that's. I mean, what else happened on Raw? Anything of note?
Nothing really. A few matches here and there, but it wasn't an A show this week. It was more of a B to C show. We had Judgment Day action. We had some OC action. We had Asuka. We had what was it? It wasn't Asuka. Was it? Yeah, it was. It was Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. Asuka without face paint.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't this the Asuka without face paint? Not sure what to think of that.
Maybe she's going to a New Japan gimmick.
Yeah, I don't know. I like her better with the face paint.
I like her better with the striped stuff, her NXT stuff.
I like the kind of drippy, like mist face paint. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. But face paint aside, it when she removed the mask and wasn't wearing the face paint, I don't know. Her expression on her face just seemed like she wasn't that expressive or that into it. I don't know if you picked up on that, but
maybe she was turning dark.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of my big takeaway from that, more so than the fact that she wasn't wearing makeup. It just she seemed like she was just kind of phoning it in. I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know if that's part of what's kind of coming down the pipes for her. But yeah, she didn't seem to be really as energetic and as expressive.
Wasn't as into it, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing too interesting happened on Raw to note.
Yeah, I saw some I guess some controversy, some just kind of behind the scenes news stuff. I think Mia Yim took some sort of weird picture with Austin Theory, and a bunch of fans jumped her case for it on Twitter, so she deleted her entire Twitter account. It was kind of an odd photo, kind of an odd thing to do, but
being married to Keith Lee.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean that's their business. If Keith Lee, has a problem.
Post something on Twitter, know that there will be some people that there's a right audience and a wrong audience for a certain thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean the internet, no matter where you're at, but especially Twitter, seems to be always just clamoring for something to be upset about. So
that, or something to make fun of, or to troll, or
yeah. I mean, it's just the nature of the internet, I suppose. Yeah, there was that. That was I don't know, popped off for a day or so, and then I don't know. I think deleting her whole Twitter account over it was a bit of an overreaction too. You can, just not log on to Twitter, like,
or you could just block users.
Yeah, I mean that's a little more work than just not logging on. So I could see like, I don't want to, have to go through the trouble of blocking all these people individually. But like I said, just don't, maybe take a week off social media, lay low for a week.
Yeah.
See how you feel, later on.
Yeah, I get that. Which, sure, it could be seen as an overreaction, but also, but away from Raw, nothing else happened. There was some stuff that happened on NXT.
Yeah, so I did watch NXT. I guess controversy aside, I will tell you, I know this wasn't last week. It was a deadline, but Fire and Dawn. Did you go back and check that match out?
I went back and watched the match. Yes, it was
Yeah.
good. I didn't watch it because I didn't feel like watching it, but
Yeah.
I needed a bathroom break, and I felt like I could use it now. I guess I shouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, understandable position. I really didn't have high expectations for it going into the match, but I watched it again. I watched that whole event over again, and I think that was probably my match of the night, man. It was pretty solid ring work, pretty good storytelling. I like the kind of getting the referee involved, and having him kind of choke up the black ooze stuff. That reminds me a lot of the Papa Shango Ultimate Warrior feud back in the day. Whenever Ultimate Warrior had the black stuff dripping from his head because Papa Shango put a curse on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was. I enjoyed that, man. Pretty solid match. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that again, just for you and anyone else that may have skipped that match. Definitely worth going back and taking another look at. As far as this week on NXT, just nothing super awesome, but scripts kind of updated his attire.
Thank God.
It's better. It's still
better.
Yeah, it still could use a little tweaking, maybe.
I like the mask. I do like some aspects of the mask. I like how they took away like the little Party City foamy strips away from it, but I do like that little curve.
Yeah. The mask is definitely an improvement. Everything was an improvement. And I think
I still don't get the colors.
Yeah, the colors. The colors I could maybe tweak. Maybe a red and black as opposed to the orange and black. The orange and black just, I don't know.
Maybe a different shade of orange or a different shade of black or a different like look to it. But just fabric on fabric, orange black doesn't look good.
No, it reminds me of Spirit Halloween and like Halloween jack-o'-lanterns and stuff. I don't know. It just maybe do that tire in the month of October, but the rest of the year kind of go with a different color scheme.
Yeah.
But still an improvement, and seeing that they've kind of tweaked the attire tells me that they're open to possibly tweaking it some more, so it could get better. And I don't know how much of that was just kind of reading. Somebody that works at WWE has the job of, unfortunately, going online
and creating
going online and reading, the boards and kind of seeing what fans are saying and how fans are feeling about stuff. I'm sure that's a position there.
Yeah, that person must be like, another day.
Yeah, suicidal maybe. But yeah, it's a step in the right direction. So, and yeah, I guess the only other thing for me that was really worth noting was we've got a new NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah,
and I don't think anybody really expected that. I think we could all see it coming fairly soon, but I don't think anybody expected it to come.
Maybe at New Year's Evil, but not on the show after. I mean,
yeah, and I
it's
think
not like a Money in the Bank contract you can cash in wherever you want.
Well, obviously, this is a case of real world circumstances altering the trajectory of a storyline. So So, for anybody who doesn't know, which I'm sure everyone knows at this point, Mandy Rose was the women's champion. She had been champion for 413 days, which is pretty impressive.
Almost a third. I think she was the third longest reigning.
Yeah, I mean that's impressive, especially for somebody that's very, very average in the ring. I don't really see Mandy Rose as like some phenomenal ring worker.
Her finishing move's not that good.
I mean, it's not terrible, but not that good. Like I said, average. She's average. The toxic attraction faction.
That was good.
Yeah, that's a pretty good stable, pretty good faction there. So I think she benefited from that. She had kind of a good look in the sense of she was kind of a throwback to me to like the old divas, and your Bellas and your Trish Stratuses, and
Definitely like the Trish Stratus.
yeah. So I mean, I but so she was running a website where she was posting some pretty inappropriate material. Somebody at WWE, I think it was a trainer from what I read, and I'm sure this person was probably a subscriber. Things got a little more racy than they probably were, comfortable with. So ratted her out. WWE found out about it. I believe there was a breach of contract issue. Being that you're on a PG show that is effectively a family show, and there are dolls or action figures, as we like to call them, in the kids section at Walmart with your likeness, probably not a good idea to be posting the kind of things that she was posting. So yeah, they kind of switched up the plan there and went ahead and had Mandy drop the title and fired her. She is gone.
Yeah, and this would probably be the one controversy I do want to put my opinion on, because I've seen a lot of comments from other people that have been saying, well, how about all the other days where these divas and women did Playboys while they were in WWE? That was a different time.
Well, not only was it a different time, that was that was something that WWE had given their approval to. Obviously, WWE did not give their approval to the content that she was posting online, especially, being that they're not profiting off of it. There's no benefit from that. I guess in a sense, when back in the day when you looked at somebody like Tori doing Playboy, it's there may not be a direct profit from that for WWE, but indirectly, that's going to get exposure to people who might not normally watch WWE. They might become a fan of that person and decide to start watching WWE. So there's incentive there for WWE to kind of allow something like that to go down. Of course, that was a different time, and they would never do anything like that today. But yeah, and I see a lot of comparisons to Paige online, which is way off base.
Yeah, we all know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, Paige years ago when she was under contract had some racy videos material out onto the internet. The difference.
Woods.
Yeah. Is it Brad Maddox?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Them three. But we won't get into details there. But yeah, that was a bit different. The Paige situation was personal videos and pictures that she had taken that were hacked off of her phone, and somebody posted to the internet without her approval. That is a very, very different situation than the Mandy Rose.
Non-consensual.
Right. Not for profit, non-consensual. I mean, that's an issue of theft. So yeah, very, very different. I don't really get the comparisons there. Yeah, and again, I mean, the stuff that Mandy was posting, we're not talking PG-13, we're not talking R. We're talking some pretty explicit stuff. So
yeah. And then people talk about, well, it's her private life. She can do what she wants. It's her person. She's representing a company.
Right.
She's the champion of a company.
Yeah, and I mean, the argument too of it was her private life when she's filming all of this stuff, taking these pictures and making them public. It's a weird kind of thing to balance. Is it private or is it public? But yeah, ultimately it's not a good look. So be interesting to see kind of what happens with her from here. She reportedly, I don't know, I haven't seen any like actual numbers, but reportedly she was making more money doing her personal business than she was from her WWE contract. I don't know how much I believe that. I don't know, man. There are some losers out there with money to burn, so maybe. But and if that's the case, I mean, I think WWE, you could possibly make the argument that WWE might need to adjust their pay scale. That's something that I think a lot of people, wrestlers included,
I don't know how true that is because she's a champion, NXT Women's Champion, one of the longest running ones, a part of a faction, and with action, she should be making way more than she would have done posting videos or pictures or whatever she was doing.
Well, I mean, again, I'm no expert on the topic, and I don't know how much you know about it, but the OnlyFans business is booming right now.
Which is weird because OnlyFans had taken down the whole, that aspect of their app.
I believe they backtracked on that. I think I think they were trying or made that move, and there was enough backlash that they backed out of that and went right back to allowing the more extreme kind of content. But I've seen reports and numbers that are really unbelievable in terms of how much some of these people are bringing in per month, especially annually. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars. So,
guess whoever pays the rent.
Yeah, and it's a sick, sad, weird world, man, where people will, I guess, pay that kind of money for that kind of content.
Yeah.
No offense, to any creeps and weirdos out there who are into that sort of stuff, but
hey, we were all teenagers once. I guess you just keep living in that world.
Yeah, I mean, millions of dollars. I don't know that we're talking teenagers here.
We're just talking maybe desk job people that live in their car and have to. I'm not going to go into detail. I'll go way too deep into this rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely.
We're getting too controversial. Wait.
Yeah, we're not even a half hour in. Yeah, I mean, I genuinely don't know who these people are that are forking over this kind of cash for that stuff.
Could be Andrew Tate.
I hear that name, but I'm not sure who that is.
All right. So, do we have anything for AEW news?
Well, I was gonna say too. The new women's champion is Roxanne, and we talked about her a little bit. She was the winner of the Iron Survivor competition that they just had. knew that WWE was big on her, but didn't expect her to be champ so soon. But good for her. She's good. Still, I don't know. I've seen, from what I can tell, kind of going from what she was doing prior to WWE to being now in NXT. She seems like she's kind of in a little bit of an adjustment period, having to adjust to the type of wrestling that WWE wants out of her.
Yeah.
But she's still doing great. It was a good match. I guess the finish for that match was a little odd. Had Mandy Rose pretty much dominating there at the end, and then Roxanne popped up, gave her a kick in the gut, and I believe a code red, and it was over. And the move was kind of weak, but ultimately it was a fairly good match. But yeah, that's, I believe, really all I recall from NXT. So, yeah, AEW. Did you catch Dynamite or Rampage?
Dynamite Winter is coming. I did catch a little bit of that. The main thing I caught was the Chris Jericho match.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, man. I got some
notes.
I got some feelings on that too. So yeah, I'll let you kind of dive right into that. And
it was terrible.
The match itself.
Everything.
Yeah.
From the match to the opponent to the finish.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with I guess Action Andretti. Is that his name?
Yeah. And they just signed him to All Elite Wrestling too. So.
Yeah. Now again, we're gonna end up beating a dead horse here. Probably will continue to beat this dead horse, but why do they keep signing so many people? It's amazing how many people they've got on that roster now.
I mean, I get AR Fox. AR Fox is talented. He's great.
Yeah. I mean, Juice Robinson makes sense.
This new guy.
Yeah.
Put him over against Chris Jericho, former Ring of Honor World Champion, just lost the title World Champion.
Well, I get that the story that they're trying to tell here with Jericho is he's kind of fallen off. He's in a little bit of a slump. So that's kind of the angle that they're trying to work with him, and the storyline they're trying to tell. So they need to have him lose to a quote unquote jobber. He even said that on the show. He was about to go, pretty much take out his frustrations on a jobber. My gripe in particular was it being the person that it was. I think, again, the roster's already too big, so you don't need to be signing new people. What I would have liked to have seen, the person I would have liked to see in that position, and I've mentioned this before, big fan of Serpentico. Serpentico is somebody that's already been on the roster who could have easily taken that spot. He's been pretty much a jobber the entire time he's worked for AEW. So I mean, a loss to him from Jericho would have had the same effect. At the same time, it would have worked to build Serpentico, somebody who's already on your roster, instead of trying to completely build this or build this completely new talent. So yeah, that would be kind of my gripe to it. I'm not crazy about this particular angle or storyline they're going with Jericho. Obviously, being a big Jericho fan, I'd rather him
rather him be over than
than to have to deal with this losing streak, slump, storyline that we're about to have to sit through with him. But if we're
track and going off the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah. I mean, it's It's not the storyline I want to see, but if we're gonna see it, I would have put Serpentico in that spot, or someone who was already on the roster that could have, like I said, played that same role, while also kind of being built themselves.
I
Instead
can
of
look at the roster right now and like pick out a Dark Order member. Could
yeah,
win.
yeah. I mean, I'd like to look at the numbers, the win-loss record. I know Serpentico's probably has one of the worst records there, but yeah, you take that bottom of the barrel group, the people with the worst numbers, and you could have given it to just about any one of those.
It's a good one, Fuego del Sol. Fuego del Sol.
Yeah, which is Fuego del Sol. Kind of, they've already did that and seemed to have given up on him pretty quick. When he first came on, that was kind of the similar storyline that he had. He got a win when no one expected him to have a win. Everybody, went nuts, and they started to push this kid. And what, a month later, 2 months later, he was a complete afterthought, and not even really a thing anymore. He's
really just wrestling on the indie scenes now in Dark.
Yeah, and I mean that's what I expect from this kid too. Honestly, I reckon 2 months from now we'll be probably trying to recall like who was that guy that jobber that Jericho lost to. I can't remember his name. So
yeah, which is sad but true.
Sad but true. So yeah, any more thoughts on that?
No, not really. Well, maybe one. What was that freaking DDT?
Oh yeah, at the end.
Yeah, what was that? The whole finish was botched.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Like you said, just terrible all around, man. And that would have been another thing too if it had at least been an entertaining match. If it had at least been an awesome match. I mean, the guy seemed mostly capable overall, but he still didn't wow me. So.
Yeah, no. Again, I would rather had Jericho win.
I saw somebody say, make the remark that he was like an off-brand Will Ospreay.
Not wrong.
Yeah, that seemed fairly accurate. Got a chuckle out of me.
Seems about right.
But also too, like who was that? There was a New Japan guy that they signed recently too.
I actually have heard of this guy. What's his name? Starts with an I. God. Does it start with an I? I've seen his work before. He's really good.
Takashita?
That's
something like that?
I guess. God, I feel so bad. I'm ready to praise him, but I don't even know his name.
Yeah, the guy that I'm referring to, it's
Konosuke Takashita. So Takashita.
Yep. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure how to pronounce his first name, but yeah, Takashita. That would have been again, somebody that they signed, fairly recently, who they seem to be big on at first. And what's he done? Where's he at? What are they doing with him?
I mean, they've done a lot of dark matches with him, and he's had a lot of Dynamite and a lot of Rampage appearances. He's fought Moxley a lot.
Yeah, I mean, nothing jumps out at me. I don't know that I would say he's had a lot of Dynamite and Rampage exposure, because I
when has he come onto the scene? When did he start coming onto the scene?
I mean, it's fairly recent, but I struggle to remember really much about the guy. I could barely even remember his name.
He's already had 20 matches.
Yeah, most of them dark, I'm sure.
Yeah. But he's had 20 matches. I believe the record for him right now is sitting at 13-7.
Okay. Well, I mean, either way, I mean, to my point, like that would have been, a good guy to put in that spot, who could have benefited from getting that win over Jericho and had the same effect of, can't believe Jericho lost to this guy.
Yeah.
But they put so much emphasis on Jericho being at his prime and having his best year ever and being the Ocho and the greatest Ring of Honor champion, and he loses to Claudio Castagnoli, and that's fine. But this new guy, it really, like, the win over Jericho really puts him on par with Jericho and Claudio Castagnoli. Really, I don't know. Maybe I don't know anything about the kid, so maybe I'm really wrong and he's awesome, but I didn't see it in that.
I've seen his work before. He does really good work. He's apparently a really nice guy too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not hanging out with the guy. I'm watching him wrestle, so
yeah,
I don't particularly care how nice he is.
Sometimes that's a factor for me. If I'm going to cheer him on, I gotta know if he's like a bastard in real life or not.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how big of a bastard we're talking about, but honestly, I don't really so much care. I'm pretty able to separate, the personal from the wrestling, as long as they're not, mixing the two things. I mean, I still watch Benoit matches, so I don't know if he can still watch Benoit wrestle and root for him and enjoy what he does, then I think
I've seen very few Benoit matches.
Say it again.
I've seen very few Benoit matches, not a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it's a crying shame.
Mainly because of what happened, but also, I mean, I like the whole crossface. I do a lot of crossfaces in wrestling, so I love his finishing move. Just I can't get behind the guy.
Well, I mean, he's, controversy aside, and
it's like CM Punk.
Well, I mean, CM Punk's a bit different because he does kind of bring his personal into the wrestling world, which is what I struggle with, like I said, the Benoit is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I don't think you'll find too many wrestling fans who are honest with themselves and willing to, kind of set aside whatever flack they might catch because of the controversy there. But like most people, I think would agree with that. And yeah, I mean, got a controversial comment from John there saying Benoit didn't kill anyone. Spend a little time on the internet, and you will come across plenty of conspiracy
theories that he didn't kill anyone or himself. So,
and I mean, I honestly don't know what I believe about it. I wasn't there. I didn't investigate the case. I didn't. I have no involvement, so it's really hard for me to say one way or the other. I'm open. I'm a conspiracy guy, so I'm open to the idea. But regardless, like I said, point being, especially if we go back and look at old wrestlers. I mean, British Bulldog, Dynamite Kid, Macho Man Randy Savage. I mean, the list goes on and on and on as far as those old school wrestlers who did not seem to be the best people. And did some pretty questionable things in their personal lives. So I don't know.
One of them.
Yeah, I mean, if that were my metric as far as being able to like enjoy wrestlers, and enjoy the matches and the wrestling, I don't think I could be really a fan. I mean, maybe I could be a fan of the modern stuff. But even that, we saw that outing movement a couple years back where tons of wrestlers, current wrestlers got outed for being really, really shady people doing really shady things. Many of them, majority of them, I think, have pretty much been blackballed from the industry and have not recovered from it. Some of them, uh, I don't mind naming a few names, but people like Joey Ryan, that guy can't even hold a regular job. He was working, I think, at Disney World recently, and some fans spotted him there and reported him to the the Disney staff there, and he got fired from that. So it's some of these guys like can't even find regular work because they've just ruined themselves, ruined their reputation, so much. So again, I don't know. It probably depends on I guess how much of that intertwines, with the actual wrestling, whether or not I'm able to kind of separate the two. And I do a pretty good job of not following a lot of wrestlers on social media. I think that helps as well.
I follow a few. I don't follow Braun Strowman on social media. I do follow Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I follow a few. Majority of mine are probably more indie level guys. And then people that, I pretty much know I'm not going to be disappointed with at this point. There's a few that, I had to unfollow CM Punk, and there's a few others that have disappointed me, but I'm still, still a fan of their wrestling, still watch their work and enjoy what I see there. I may not really, like them very much as people, but I can still, set that aside and enjoy.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. I usually follow more retired wrestlers as I see it. Because I'm only seeing like Scott Reznor or like Bay Ragney.
Yeah.
Ragney being Chubby Dudley from ECW. He's actually a really nice guy. I talked to him quite a bit. He sent me some autographed pictures for my birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was really nice.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I guess, kind of while we're on the topic of AEW and the people that we follow on social media and all that, I mean, this kind of ties into it. We'll kind of hop off track for a moment and get correct course in a minute, but some interesting news from Ethan Page.
We were never on track.
What does that even mean?
This was the most controversial episode.
Right. But yeah, right before I came on, I was scrolling through Instagram and I came across a post from Ethan Page. Yeah. Ethan Page had a pretty big announcement for him to be making. He has started his own toy line. It's called Asylum All Stars. They've released some, pictures of their first wave of figures. It's going to be a wrestling toy line. The first wave, I believe, consisted of the Road Warriors, Scott Norton and Buff Bagwell from their WCW days as a tag team, Earl Hebner. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool, man. Congrats to Ethan Page for that. I know he's, probably really, really stoked for that. He's a big toy guy. He seemed stoked about it. So glad to have another toy line out. Gives us some more options. I think there's been some Road Warriors figures made, of course. Those tend to be a little bit scarce, a little bit pricey if you want to, grab some of those. I don't recall seeing many Scott Norton and Buff Bagwell figures. I know Bagwell. I think he had maybe a Jax or two back in the day. But that's pretty cool that there's a new option there if you want to get that Buff Bagwell or Scott Norton.
I mean, I'm looking over here at my wall of in the box old figures. I got some Jack specific Road Warriors still in the box.
Yeah, I've got a few of the old ones, but I think the elites of the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom.
Oh yeah, those
are pretty hard to find, and when you do find them, they're pretty expensive. So
yeah, and the nasties, those are hard to find for the elites and the just. I have one. I want to get the other one, but I don't have.
Yeah, I've got a set of Nasty Boys elites. I actually got them both. I don't remember where I got them or when I got them, but I got them pretty cheap, brand new. So that was a good find. I like the Nasty Boys. I'm not huge on them, but I like them. So finding those for a pretty big discount, I had to go ahead and snag them and add them to the collection.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just saw that news right before it came on. So I guess you could follow Ethan Page on social media to learn more about that and keep up with what's going on there. I'm assuming they'll probably have their own social media account if they don't already. But yeah, Asylum All Stars. So and Ethan Page, is a guy that I follow, online that I enjoy. I enjoy his posts. He's never really too deep, too heavy. He's mostly just having fun and collecting some toys. So
yeah.
But yeah, I guess getting back to Dynamite.
I thought of something earlier. You know what would be funny?
So
Chris Jericho taking off his Steam. Instead of on a jobber, it was on -1. -1's first match, and he wins against Chris Jericho. That.
Yeah, that reminds me. Have you seen the Kenny Omega match against the 9-year-old girl?
I haven't, but I don't want to.
No,
that sentence does not sound good.
It's
questionable. Is the start of a whole different genre.
Right. It's questionable for sure. But it actually is a really good match, man. It's short. I'll send you a link. You can skip it if you want to skip it, but it's worth checking out, man. The girl, whoops up on Kenny Omega pretty good and does a good job. So, but yeah, that's what it reminded me of whenever you were talking about Jericho versus -1. That would have been pretty awesome, man. If they would have actually had that match and did some wrestling and had him come out on top. I think I would have enjoyed that.
Yeah, Haruka. This is a long time ago.
Oh yeah, it was a while back, man. It was back before Kenny Omega was the Kenny Omega we know today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I said, it's worth a watch, man. It's pretty enjoyable. So.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is not current day Kenny Omega.
Yep. It's actually Riho when she was 9.
Mm-hmm. I see the picture.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually Rio, but
no, like I see the side by side picture. One of these pictures is just Riho next to Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
that could be a conspiracy theory.
Right. No, I've actually, I've come across people online claiming that girl is actually Rio, especially whenever Rio got signed to AEW.
I mean, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be really cool. I believe Rio and Kenny used to date, if I'm not mistaken. So I went on the Chris Jericho cruise, as I've mentioned many times before. We had a day on the cruise where we went on an excursion. And that's basically they park the boat in the Bahamas, and you get off the boat and you get to go, to a water park or go do something on the island. And you're in a group with other people on the cruise while you're doing whatever you're doing. And Kenny Omega and Rio were in our group when we went to the water park. So that was pretty cool. I didn't interact with them at all. Just kind of let them have their fun and enjoy their day, same as us. But
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
You just gotta remember. I know they're famous. I know they're like your idols and everything, but they're normal people just like you. They don't always get to have the luxuries of doing their normal people stuff once they've become who they are.
Yeah,
that was anyone who played Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, that was the interesting thing about being on the cruise, though, too, is you did see a lot of fans who were bugging these people, because you're on a cruise ship. So, I mean, there's going to be moments where you're standing in line at the buffet together, and moments like that. And, you oftentimes, I don't know. And I'm sure different wrestlers probably feel differently about it. Some of them probably enjoy it and don't mind, having a conversation. Others probably just, want 10 minutes to themselves to grab some food,
You can hear that.
So yeah, I mostly, I saw a lot of wrestlers on the cruise, and I mostly just left them alone. There was, my wife and I went to a Talk Is Jericho taping when we were on the cruise, and it was the episode with Jake the Snake. And I believe it might have been the same night, or maybe it was the next day. We were at the buffet getting some lunch, and Jake the Snake was like hanging out in line to get some food, and I couldn't bring myself to. I was a little awestruck, a little starstruck, man, and couldn't really bring myself to go talk to him. And my wife had no problem, she just walked right up and said, "Hey, we enjoyed listening to you talk." Kind of kept it brief, didn't really hassle him, but he seemed perfectly nice, man. I kind of regret not saying hello myself, but yeah, pretty crazy to be standing in line for some food and turn around and Jake the Snake's standing in line for some food too.
I have a similar story.
Yeah.
In Florida, think about the year's 2018 in pro wrestling.
Right.
I'm just started watching it back. It's about a year since after I got a WWE title replica. So, and this is also during the time where Lars Sullivan was in NXT.
Right.
So, I don't have the picture anymore. I have one of the pictures from one of the others. But we were at Brazilian Steakhouse in Florida. I forget where. I don't know if it was Orlando or not Orlando, but it was in Florida. And so we were out. Mom and Dad were having dinner with a friend. We were just there tagging along, having Brazilian Steakhouse. And out of the corner of my eye, I just see this giant man, this giant bald guy with a very triangular beard, and his friend walk in. And I look at the bar over by the salad bar. I'm like, that's Lars Sullivan. I was like, that's Lars Sullivan. Oh my God. And so later on, Dad introduced us to him. We got a picture with him. It's such a big guy. This was before the whole controversy of him coming out and doing all that stuff was a thing.
Right.
So we got a picture with him. I don't have it anymore. I do have a picture with who he was with. He was with a 2018 Elias.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah.
If I can. So that's Elias with me and my brother.
Can't really make it out, but
wait, hold on. There
you go. Tilt it a little bit. Other way. There you go. Cool.
So that's Elias.
Awesome.
So I still have that picture.
And what was Elias doing at the time? Was he doing anything?
He was on Raw. He was in a feud with, I want to say, Seth Rollins. He was in a feud with someone for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
And
Cool,
so
man.
I remember because I was like, you should win the NXT title. You should win it. I remember that day. And Lars was all happy. He's like, thanks, man. I guess he doesn't get a few fans all the time. I remember Elias and taking a picture with Elias, mainly because it wasn't like maybe 10 minutes to 20 minutes before they had come in. We came up to him. We had taken a picture with him, and we were under him. I'm shorter than him at the time. And just, he's above us, and he's breathing heavy. Like he was just pounding on steak, and just the stench of just meat coming from his mouth and his nostrils onto us. Heavy steams of just charcoal meat. Of steak or chicken or lamb or whatever he was having. Probably all of it. Just we could smell it. And we took the picture.
Sounds gross.
It was an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got multiple other stories where I've seen wrestlers in real life.
Just randomly like that?
Yeah, there was one time at Buc-ee's, Dexter Loomis.
Yeah.
Got to see Dexter Loomis. My dad actually said something to Loomis, which he talked. This was before the whole talking thing. I never got to talk to him. I never got to introduce myself. I was a little scared of him. He's actually very intimidating in real life.
Yeah. Seems like he would be.
Yeah. So I got to see that. My sister met Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler one night at Cracker Barrel, waiting their table.
Nice.
Sent me a picture. I was like, oh my God, I wish I was there. So, yeah, there's just multiple times where it's been, meeting a wrestler or seeing them in real life or just having the opportunity and missed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's ever really happened to me that way. I mean, the cruise, it was kind of to be expected because you're all, obviously there's tons of them there and you're in a small space. But, yeah, other than that, I don't think I've ever bumped into anybody randomly like that.
Yeah, it's like, what? This is real?
Right.
This isn't the television. This is real. I can see you. I can touch you. I can take a picture with you. Put it on my wall.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah. We've gone so off topic.
Yeah. I guess the rest of Dynamite had the Death Triangle and the Elite going at it again.
And Death Triangle coming on top.
Yeah, I mean, still fairly entertaining. I will say this is probably the least entertaining of their matches so far, but I still enjoyed it. It is, kind of wearing on me though. Like I'm a little bit ready for that to go ahead and kind of wrap up.
And yes, John. Yeah, it was the Cracker Barrel and Opelika.
Wow, random. So yeah, it was kind of funny. I guess after the match, you had Pentagon use the hammer again to win, and Kenny Omega cut a promo on him and was remarked that he was tired of playing by their rules. So the next match would be a no DQ match with which is precisely playing by their rules. Is it not?
What could go wrong?
Yeah. But yeah, so the next one will be no DQ. I think they've already announced that the last and if it makes it to 7, it'll be a ladder match.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Some people were complaining that that's a giveaway, that there's going to be a 7th match. I don't think that's necessarily true. You can have a projected kind of plan for, match 5 will be this kind of match, 6 will be this kind of match, 7. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make it, to a 7th match. But either way, I mean, whatever. I do like them kind of, I'm like I just mentioned, I'm just at the point of where it's starting to get kind of kind of old and stale. So I think, let's make the next one no DQ, and then let's make this one a ladder match. I think that adds something new to the table, which could keep it a little bit more fresh and keep it from getting as stale as quickly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, House of Black, man, made their return and dominated the factory, which right. I don't really understand. I thought, with kind of the House of Black hitting the reset button, taking a little minute off and coming back. I really thought AEW was gonna get behind them and bump them up and give them a push. I mean, they really should be. I mean, they should be going after the Acclaimed. They should be going after FTR. They should be going after the Elite and the Death Triangle. But yeah, they have declared war on AEW by taking out the factory.
Factory, the same guys that turned on the Nightmare Family?
Yeah.
The question mark?
I don't understand. I really don't understand what the point.
The guys that turned their back on AEW, they're going after those guys.
And
show AEW.
Yeah, and I don't know who said it on commentary, but one of them, made that remark of, the House of Black is declared war on AEW, while they were just destroying the factory. And it's, like I said, I don't get it. I don't get why I should care. I don't get why anyone should care. That's not. It seems very beneath the House of Black guys. Like I said, they should be taking out the top teams. They should be at the top.
They should be the ones like getting a little involved in the best of 7 match at some point.
Yeah, I was about to say if it were me, I would have not had House of Black in a match after the trios match with the Elite and Death Triangle. I would have just had House of Black come out and attack one side, one faction, give you that moment of like, what's going on here? Are they working together? And then just attack the other side and just attack all of them and just beat them all down, leave them laying bloody. And then that gives you somewhere to go with that best of 7, now in the next encounter, you've got to worry about House of Black interfering, especially if it's a no DQ match.
Yeah. I was going to say that bring the no DQ element into it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you could either have House of Black get involved in that no DQ match or not. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to happen. But with it being a no DQ match, you've got that kind of hanging over it, the whole time. And it gives you, somewhere to go once this best of 7 is over. Obviously, if we just watch 7 matches of the Elite versus Death Triangle, I think that should kind of end their program, right? Like we should move on and have the Elite go up against somebody else and Death Triangle go up against somebody else. So and honestly, I would prefer, to see the Elite versus House of Black. I think that would have been an interesting way to go with that. So yeah, man, I don't know what to think about the House of Black stuff and how they're being handled. I thought things would be different, and maybe we'll get there, but I would have just jumped right in. So.
Yeah. I mean, there was a few things that happened on Dynamite. We had Jungle Boy call out W. Morrissey. What are you calling out all these big guys, man?
I was just about to, comment on that.
You don't need to prove anything against these big guys.
Well, Jungle Boy beat Brian Cage on Dynamite.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
No.
That just shouldn't happen.
1 million years.
Especially you just had Brian Cage, win the Ring of Honor 6-man. So you got a champion in Brian Cage going up against tiny little Jungle Boy, and Jungle Boy came out on top.
That's not how you book Brian Cage.
No, no, not at all. And then to immediately have, like you said, Jungle Boy call out, Big Bill, as they're calling him now, uh, which is a terrible name. I don't know why they have opted for that. But yeah, Morrissey is like twice the size of Jungle Boy, twice the height, twice the size.
Twice the man.
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet Jungle Boy is probably going to win that program as well. So I think somebody maybe came out and attacked Jungle Boy or was going to, and it didn't Hook come out and save him.
Yes, Hook did come out and save him.
There again, I like Hook, and Hook is a little bit more believable as a small guy because he can actually wrestle. Like he's got pretty good training.
Like he's actually
right.
Intimidating.
Yeah. But at the same time, Hook is very small. So you've got Hook and Jungle Boy, and I don't remember, was it the Embassy that came out and was attacking Jungle Boy, or
they're called the Firm.
Was it the Firm?
The Firm.
Did it? I was thinking Brian Cage's faction.
No, it's not the Embassy. It was the Firm.
It was the Firm.
There's two members of the Firm. It was Lee Moriarty, and it was Big Bill.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Because Stokely was out there kind of egging it on.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I mean, you take Lee Moriarty and Morrissey and put them up against Jungle Boy and Hook, and yeah, it just doesn't. Jungle Boy and Hook don't really stack up against those two. But Hook's presence managed to kind of get the Firm to tuck their tails and run. So again, that's all like not very good booking in my view.
No.
I like Hook. Not a huge fan of Jungle Boy. So I don't know. Maybe that's influencing my opinion there, but yeah, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, especially having him go over Cage and call out Morrissey.
No. I just no. Big no.
Yeah, it's about all I remember. I think Sky Blue challenged Britt Baker.
You're forgetting the main event.
I don't recall, man. I don't recall.
MJF versus Ricky Starks.
Oh yeah.
Dynamite Diamond Ring and AEW title on the line.
Yep. I don't know why I'm spacing on that.
Yeah.
And you had, of course, MJF win. He retains the Dynamite Diamond ring and the championship. So not a whole lot's changed in that regard. He, of course, had a low blow to win, so it wasn't a clean victory. But like I said, not a whole lot's really changed there, and that's probably why I was kind of spacing on it. It was a decent match, but after the dust cleared and the match was said and done, nothing really changed.
Yeah. But yeah, nothing. Oh, Bryan Danielson and all that.
Yeah, Bryan Danielson chased off MJF, so they might be, setting something up between those two.
Bryan Danielson is not going to be the one to take it off MJF. I'd be very surprised if they did that. I feel like it's going to be someone else, someone that's going to get a big push. I feel like it's going to be Wardlow.
It should be, probably. They should let MJF kind of hang on to it for a little bit, especially with all the flip-flopping it's done recently. But yeah, have the Wardlow stuff kind of come back to bite him in the end.
Like maybe Wardlow wins the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Wins like a Casino Battle Royal. Comes out as maybe one of the first and just decimates the field. we get a very surprise Joker entrant, and then just oh, come on.
Yeah, I oftentimes think I could do their job better than them. Yeah, John says it's 2022. Most wrestling isn't written with common sense. I think you guys should apply. Yeah, I could. I know for a fact I could write some better better storylines and book better than some of this stuff we're seeing from these big companies.
Yeah. One of the main things, make sure you know who your world champion is.
Yeah.
If you're a writer, make sure you know the name of your world champion that you're writing for.
Yeah.
We had that happen with the whole Bobby Lashley situation, where the writer, Bobby Ashley, really? One letter off.
I suppose it could have been a typo.
Yeah.
But, again, I mean, you're in that position. You shouldn't be having typos.
Writers for wrestling companies should know what wrestling is and should know what would be good for the match or the story.
Yep. Well,
bring people in.
That one company doesn't like to use the term wrestling, so I genuinely don't know, if some of those guys know what that is. So.
Are we talking about banned words here now?
Yep.
We're so off topic. It's not even funny.
I did notice last week's episode of NXT, or maybe it was Deadline. They name dropped Ring of Honor. The commentary team did during the Roxanne match. So that's another recent instance, of WWE commentators mentioning another wrestling company that I never thought they would mention on air. So
New Japan, and you got Ring of Honor.
Yep. I didn't watch Rampage. Did you catch any Rampage?
I did. I caught one of the last matches of Rampage.
Yeah.
What was the 4v4.
What was that?
That was a 4v4 match between Best Friends and Best Friends with Orange Cassidy and Dustin Rhodes, or Gold Dust. I'll call him Gold Dust. You call Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan all you want. I'll call Dustin Rhodes Gold Dust.
You won't get any complaints out of me from that. Yeah. Just don't call him Seven, then we'll have an issue.
Versus Butcher and Blade, Trent Seven, and Kip Sapien. Now, the match itself wasn't anything special.
Right.
I do gotta say though, another very weird thing at the end of the match, Kip Sapien turning on Trent Seven already.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know that they were buds.
Trent Seven came in as Kip Sapien's opponent for Orange Cassidy for the title, so.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, it is super quick. And the fact that Trent Seven's already 0 for 2 in AEW.
Yeah, I mean, again, can't really explain that booking there.
I can't either.
Look, we just brought in this new awesome talent, and then
make him lose.
Yep. So yeah, I guess there's a little bit of Impact, a couple episodes to kind of go over there. Not a lot because it's Impact, but there was a vignette with Diener, Violent by Design, that I really enjoyed. Him basically kind of taking up the mantle as leader. And I think Big Khan had a match right after the vignette. Match was okay, but the vignette was pretty cool. So I'm stoked on Violent by Design. Kind of carrying on without Eric Young. I think it's probably still going to work just as well without him being there.
Yeah.
It was, I guess, setting up. I guess they're going to go after Sami Callihan. But yeah, Mike Bailey, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Josh Alexander had a match that was pretty long. And that was probably my only real complaint with the match. It was a bit long, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. I thought they did well, put on a good match. Very, Mike Bailey has more of a kind of aerial and martial arts background. Josh Alexander having more of the traditional like amateur wrestling background. It was a good kind of mashup of styles. But yeah, I think it went on for a while. I probably should have looked at how long it was, because I think they could have shaved a little bit of time off of it to make it a bit more enjoyable. Because that was really my only complaint. It just went on a little too long. But yeah, Motor City Machine Guns, the new tag team champions over in Impact. They beat Heath and Rhino to get those titles. I think that's a good call. I mean, I like Heath Slater and Rhino. I think they're both good, but Motor City Machine Guns make a better tag team champion for your company. They're also, I think they hold another tag title for New Japan right now as well. So they're double champion.
Junior heavyweight, the junior titles.
I don't think it's the junior. I think it's like the strong championship or something like that. It's one of the ones that I'm. Yeah, it's one of the ones I'm not quite as familiar with, but so yeah, they are double champs. Motor City Machine Guns, New Japan, and Impact tag champs right now.
Yes, yeah, they are the strong openweight tag team champions.
Yeah. So that's cool. I mean, Motor City Machine Guns are definitely one of the best tag teams going right now. So I think that's a good call. So that's pretty cool. Jonathan Gresham is back in Impact. He had that little. He was Ring of Honor, and he was part of the Honor No More faction that was taking over Ring of Honor, I think. Or he wasn't really part of them, but they kind of convinced him to join in, and then he left for AEW, and I think had some sort of falling out pretty quickly with Tony Khan there, and ended up backing out of that deal. But yeah, he's in Impact now, so that's pretty cool. I like Jonathan Gresham, and he's married to Jordan Grace, so it's not really much of a surprise that he would end up back in Impact. Probably one of the more interesting developments there. I'm not sure if you're familiar with a wrestler named Delirious. You familiar with this guy?
Delirious.
Yeah. He's a former Ring of Honor guy. He wears a mask. He's weird. He's odd. He's definitely a bit of an odd.
He's weird.
He's an odd character, man. He speaks in like Japanese or gibberish. I'm not really sure which. I can't tell the difference. But
that I get that reference.
Yeah. But yeah, he's pretty awesome, man. I haven't seen him wrestle in a few years. I kind of forgot about him. I used to like him, a good bit back in the day, watching him in Ring of Honor. So he's popped up over in Impact. So he's, I believe, going after Eddie Edwards. I think they've set up a match between the two.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool, man. I hope Delirious sticks around. I think he'd be a good fit for Impact. So pretty interested to see what happens there. Yeah, I think that's about it for Impact really for the past couple of weeks. The only things that were really of note to me.
Well, I wanted to bring some news to the table. Apparently, next NXT will be having the return of a one and only super diva, Quincy Elliott.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
Since he wrestled a match against Scripps in a house show.
Yeah.
Not ready.
No.
It's the same attire. It's the same gimmick. It's not ready.
Yeah, it's. I was enjoying NXT.
Without, yeah.
Right. So now I got to sit through. I don't know, man. It doesn't even really feel right to like compare him to Mabel.
I was gonna say you compared him to Mabel a lot with me, and I'm like, no, Mabel's better. Big Daddy V, better.
He's much better. He really only gets that comparison because the similar look, similar attire, similar size. But Mabel could actually
wrestle,
put on a decent match. So yeah, this guy belongs in catering. Or it looks like he spent a little too much.
It's terrible to say that someone belongs in catering. He needs a new character development.
Well, he probably spent a little too much time in catering already. But then
he's fat.
He's fat. Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't see any talent there. I really don't. I wish I did, but I don't. So
I only see a little bit of a attempt at a cash grab at LGBTQ.
I mean, seems to be. Yeah, there was that interview, I guess a few years back now with Stephanie, where she was talking about how they were going to incorporate that kind of stuff into the show, but I haven't really seen it.
Just do what you think's best. Don't get pressured to.
I mean, I don't particularly care, about someone's
identity,
preference there when it comes to watching wrestling, man. I really don't. I'd rather not focus on that at all, really.
I'd rather just like to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Good promos, some good characters, a good story, a wonderful match.
Right.
I'd rather not see the aftermath of Nikado Avocado if he was a wrestler on a scooter.
Well, it doesn't really matter too much what the particular orientation is. I mean, I thought the Edge and Lita stuff from back in the day was pretty cringe.
Yeah, that is one of the more questionable things that they did during the ruthless aggression era.
Yeah. I mean, it's not giving birth to a human hand. Or punting a baby.
Why? Why do you have to bring up Snitsky into this?
I mean, he's in our intro, man. I have to watch him every week.
Oh, that's right. God, dang it. Just the whole baby thing with Kane.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I relive that moment every week now.
oh. I try to forget, but now you've put that in that intro, and I do see it, and now you've made me remember. I won't forget.
No, I don't see how you could, man. I don't see how you could. I'll remember that for the rest of my life. Probably even beyond.
The whole love triangle thing between Matt Hardy, Edge, and Kane and Lita.
Yeah. Not quality television.
No. Got off topic again. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. On to the final part of our news, which is Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah.
Yep. Didn't watch it. Didn't see much from it. I guess Ricochet had a good match.
Oh, Ricochet had a wonderful match.
Yeah,
I'm starting to
against,
think whenever Gunther or Walter are in the ring, like they're the same person, but whenever they're in the ring, it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, I mean Ricochet's no slouch himself. But yeah, that's one of the things that I have seen kind of buzzing online after SmackDown. Gonna try to check out that match sometime in the next few days. I'm off work till after Christmas, so I should be able to get good and caught up with some wrestling.
Yeah, I was going to say we're not going to have a show on. We're not going to have a show next week.
Yeah, Christmas. So gonna take the night off, and you guys will be left to hang out with your families.
Who needs them?
bunch of bums. But yeah, gonna check that match out. I guess we saw an appearance from Uncle Howdy.
Yes, the whole LA Knight Bray Wyatt's thing has gone down, and LA Knight calling out Bray Wyatt, saying he knows he's Uncle Howdy. He knows he's seen this stuff. You're the man behind the mask the entire time. Bray Wyatt comes out, gets a mud hole stomped, and then Uncle Howdy comes out while Bray Wyatt's in the ring.
Yep. So obviously not Bray Wyatt. And then that I mentioned on here several weeks ago, the whole Blue Blazer storyline where, Owen was accused of being the Blue Blazer when he was denying it. And very easily squashed that by, having somebody else wear the Blue Blazer costume and come out while he was also in the ring just to kind of throw people. So yeah, it's, the Uncle Howdy, Bray Wyatt, that moment was kind of reminiscent of that for me. Which I sent you, I guess, kind of a meme of people speculating that Uncle Howdy was actually Vince McMahon, and that was how he was returning. I hope that's not the case, but I kind of hope that is the case. I think that would be hilarious and weird and interesting to see. But yeah, I don't think that's.
If Vince McMahon comes back to WWE, I'm gonna eat my shoe.
I'd be careful, man. I'd be careful.
Like, as in creative wise, I'm gonna eat my shoe.
Yeah.
I'm real nice. Hell, I might as well fry it. Put some ketchup on it because I know it's gonna taste bad. I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be careful because nothing's out of the question. I think
I'd rather have Donald Trump come back to wrestling.
Oh man, I think if both of them made a return to wrestling at the same night, I think everyone's head would just explode.
I'll have to eat both my shoes.
Yeah. If Vince does return, I do hope it's more in just like the business sense and not in the booking sense, in the creative sense. I think that he is a good businessman and he probably has something to bring to the table in that regard. So I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that, but when it comes to creative and booking, I really think he should have nothing to do with that at all.
I just started liking Austin Theory. Okay, can we just maybe we can keep that?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens for sure.
Yeah. So we had the whole Uncle Howdy thing go down, and we had a number one contenders match for the unified undisputed WWE tag team titles, which I gave you a clip of.
Yeah. What was that again?
Legado del Fantasma versus the Viking Raiders versus Hit Row.
Oh yeah, the botch.
Oh boy. Michael Cole's commenting at the end sold it as well.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious, man. I watched that about 4 or 5 times. I think what's the guy's name?
Top Dollar.
Top Dollar. Yeah, I think he was a little salty online. I think it got to him. All the people kind of passing it around and laughing at him. It is what it is, man. I think somebody we remember but you remember the infamous like Titus O'Neil trip and fall under the ring. Like that's how you handle that with grace. Titus O'Neil laughed at himself. He knew that it was funny. He knew that it was.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did the same thing where he tried to go for the move and then stopped himself real quick.
Yeah.
And then it was
and knowing that like you're on camera, it's forever archived. Like that clip will follow you for the rest of your life, man. You might as well just laugh at it with everybody else.
Like the Titus World Slide is like one of my favorite parts of the, new kind of WWE.
Yeah. No, I did see Top Dollar being salty online about it and kind of trying to make excuses for it, and just own it, man. It happened.
I didn't realize I'd have to quote Scott Steiner twice on the same episode. You're fat. Deal with it.
Might have to take that clip of Scott Steiner and just incorporate it into our intro, just randomly.
I'm gonna make that a sound bite.
Look into that cameo thing and see if Scott Steiner's doing cameos, and we might have to pay him to just do our intro. Just do some math right off the bat at the beginning, and then introduce us, the Bad Brothers, as just have them call both of us fat. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. If it's not too pricey, might have to make that happen.
It'll probably be pricey. It's Scott Steiner.
Yeah, big Papa Pump, man. He ain't cheap.
If Kevin Nash was salty and pricey at a Comic-Con, Scott Steiner's going to be salty and pricey for a cameo.
Probably.
Yeah. So I guess that's SmackDown news. And the Bloodline on the 30th, last Friday, we'll have Roman and Sammy go against Kevin and John Cena in a tag team match, which could end up with Roman getting pinned for the first time in 3 years. But let's we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's 2 weeks from now.
Yep. Well, it's about all I got.
Hour and 35 minutes with ranting, controversy, and news, and we haven't even got to the topic. Which topic of today? I guess we've already done the Havoc part of all of it. But happy holidays, everyone! It's that time of the year where it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not very pricey.
Oh yeah. Thanks, John.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Can get a cameo from Big Papa Pump for $100. See if can get some Christmas money, and maybe make that happen.
Maybe that'd be pretty awesome. God, getting him as a cameo on the show, like for the intro.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
So, topic, holiday. So I want you to name out. I don't know if we're running low on time or anything. I didn't want this to be quick, but your top, let's say, 5 favorite, bleh, top 5 favorite wrestling holiday moments.
Definitely gonna have to think on that one for a moment. Nothing jumps out at me. Let's see. I know the Halloween Pumpkinhead spot might actually be in my 5th spot. They initially did it, I think, with Cesaro years ago. Had him get smashed in the head with the jack-o'-lantern and kind of fumble around the ring with the pumpkin on his head. But they did it this year with Otis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely a better fit for Otis, man. It was much funnier watching Otis kind of bumble around the ring with a giant pumpkin on his head. That's pretty good. I like that. That was good.
Yeah. I guess one that's for me is Saint Mick. Mick Foley as Santa Claus.
Yeah, Mick Foley being a huge fan of Christmas. He has a Christmas room in his house the same way I have a toy room.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all Christmas themed, and like he wears Christmas clothes and sits in there and eats cookies and milk, and I don't know, does whatever he does. But weird but cool, you know.
Jolly old toothless Saint Mick.
Yep. But yeah, so they did a segment on, was it Raw when they had him come out as Saint Mick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it had a thing with John Cena and Ryback, I believe.
Oh, Ryback.
Yeah, we've already talked about enough controversy. Let's keep it to a minimum.
Actually, didn't really have a whole lot to say on that, other than I think it's kind of unfortunate that WWE dropped the ball on him. He had some potential and seemed to be over at one point in time. He got some you get the whole arena kind of doing your "feed me more" chant, and then they just squandered that, dropped the ball with it. The guy's not a great wrestler. Definitely has his flaws, but I think there was probably some money to be made there that WWE left on the table.
Yeah. What's your other favorite moment?
Trying to think. Let's see.
Or it doesn't just have to be Christmas, it's holiday. So
Right. Yeah, any holiday. I mean, my earlier one was Halloween. Yeah, I mean, nothing's exactly jumping out at me.
I might not have picked a good topic.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a fine topic. Just wasn't really prepared and thinking in that mindset.
Yeah. I probably should have told you ahead of time.
Yeah, that would have been Would have been helpful. Oh yeah, there was that I guess one time that Stone Cold gave the stunner to Santa Claus.
Yeah.
That's
also the time where Stone Cold was Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to maybe do a little research on that and kind of stroll down memory lane and see what pops out at me.
I remember a match with John Cena. I believe it was against Alberto Del Rio. Just a Christmas gift, no DQ match. And just John Cena and bowling ball to Alberto, the bowling ball spot from the ramp.
Yeah.
And then there's a meme that goes around every holiday for WWE, and with John Cena opening a gift to it's the most wonderful time of the year. And he opens the gift, and it's just a steel chair, and he has a priceless face to it. So I remember that match as well.
Yeah, I think I probably missed that one, and haven't. I don't think I've seen that meme either.
It's quite hilarious. To me, I find it quite humorous.
Yeah.
I mean, there was always the time where was it Hornswoggle with Sheamus? Christmas wishes. Hornswoggle got a wish that he could talk, and we got talking Hornswoggle.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Hornswoggle talking, and not doing the whole leprechaun, baby, and just him talking. So there was that. I think I'm up to 3 now. I remember that quite clearly. What's another one? Really good Christmas one.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of them seem to be Christmas moments.
Yeah, but I could talk. What other holidays have they done? Well, there's Thanksgiving. I guess the Thanksgiving street fight.
Yeah, the gobbledygooker.
Ah, yeah, the gobbledygooker.
Yeah.
John, no. 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 No.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about that.
I'll second John on that.
What? Maybe y'all are the guys paying Mandy Rose.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that moment up for research purposes.
I remember Rusev, and I believe it's either 2018 or 2019. I believe it's 2019. Rusev on December 25th, Friday Night SmackDown, December 25th. Coincidentally, is also his birthday. So It was his birthday. It was Christmas, and it was the day he became a 3-time WWE United States champion, beating Shinsuke Nakamura. I do remember that day. I do remember that match.
It's a Rusev Day.
Yeah. That was during the Rusev Day gimmick, which is still one of my favorite Rusev gimmicks.
Yeah. I mean, that counts as a holiday, right?
Yeah. The one day where Christmas landed on Rusev Day.
It's a double holiday.
Yeah, when you think about it. And then it was Rusev's birthday.
Oh man, that's that's it. I mean, that's like I said. I'm gonna have to probably look into that one a little bit more. That's really all I got as far as holidays. Yeah, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving. I don't really know that they really do much else with any other, Rusev Day. Maybe the 4th of July.
Oh, they do some stuff for 4th of July.
Yeah.
I remember doing the whole food fight, the little food fight they had on the 4th of July, and then out of nowhere, Kevin Owens gets pied.
Yeah.
So I remember that.
Yeah, I think maybe there was like a Lex Luger moment on 4th of July back when he was doing the patriotic gimmick.
Yeah, more than definitely.
Like slam Yokozuna or something like that.
Yeah, look up 4th of July stuff.
Yeah, Lex Luger slams Yokozuna the 4th of July, 1993. I do remember, that moment, watching that as a kid and being pretty impressed with that. That was on par with, Hulk climbing Andre the Giant. Because
Yokozuna, big man.
Yeah, very big. So yeah, that'd be up there for me, man. That might have to kind of hang out in my top spot. As far as being a memorable holiday moment that was also like a good moment, in wrestling, without kind of a gimmicky holiday aspect to it, So yeah, I think that's got to be up there.
I do know that almost every holiday in WWE, you have one man, the myth, the legend, that just goes beyond and just does incredible. Doesn't matter if he dresses up, doesn't matter if he comes out and makes a promo. R-Truth on every holiday is just hilarious. R-Truth coming out this year came out as like Uncle Sam. One year he was Santa.
Yeah, our truth is quality entertainment.
I remember Jericho and Big Show when they did the whole Santa wish, where Big Show was dressed as Santa and Chris Jericho. No, it was Chris Jericho dressed as Santa. And Big Show came down to try and make a wish that Jericho and Big Show would come back as a tag team. How they would announce that to face the tag team champions.
Yeah.
And then I believe Hornswoggle got into the ring with all of his like little minions, his little people minions, and swarmed the ring and attacked Jericho and Show. And then DX came to the ring and beat Show and Big Show off of him and made Hornswoggle the official mascot of DX.
Yeah, I remember Hornswoggle being a DX mascot for a while.
I actually had that figure. The DX Hornswoggle figure.
That's a good one, man.
I looked over there and I was like, oh yeah, that's when they did that. I'm all out of time-consuming ideas. I think the news and controversy took up most of our time.
Oh, it was a lot of that.
10th episode, and all we could talk about was our own opinion on certain things that transpired this week. There was a lot of stuff that transpired this week.
Yeah, it's been a busy one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then Snoop Dogg losing his custom golden WWE title on his tour.
What a dummy.
Yeah. His one of one golden title. I bet you got high one night and accidentally gave it to someone thinking it was security.
Yeah, there is no telling, man. I would assume some illegal substances were involved, though.
Yeah, knowing Snoop. I mean, it also wouldn't be the first time a WWE title was stolen.
Yeah. Looking at you, Medusa.
Also looking at Gunther that lost the NXT UK Championship back in the day when he first got it.
Yeah.
Although he didn't lose it. It got stolen out of his car trunk. And then I believe that
if I were like a WWE champion of any sort, I would probably have the title on me at all times. Like I'd go to the bathroom with it. I'd sleep with it. I can't imagine just like chucking it in my trunk while I ran into the 7-Eleven. Like, nah, I'm gonna strap that on, man, and go in and get my slushie wearing my WWE championship belt on my waist.
Now, there's also a case, I remember, Brock Lesnar, he didn't lose it. He forgot his Universal title back at home. And so they had to give him a store replica title that wasn't broken in yet.
Right.
And so it didn't have his side plates on it, which was the first giveaway. Second giveaway, it's a lighter shade of red so that, it doesn't look like the official title.
Yeah, and it's probably a bit stiff, too. Like you said, it wasn't really broken in, so.
Yeah, but the third thing that gave it away was that it was not big enough for Brock Lesnar. So he wasn't wearing it. It was only over his shoulder the entire time.
So the replicas are not the same size?
No. Replicas are technically not the same size. Titles are made for the exact champion. That's what I've come to figure out. If you have a small waist, you're going to get a smaller title. If you have a big waist, you're going to get a bigger title. If you lose the title or forget it, you're given a replica, which you can tell because it's not the Velcro or the metal strap in the back like they usually have. It's the full buttons. That's how you know they've either forgotten it or they've lost it.
Yeah. That's something I need to add to the wrestling collection at one point. I'd like to get a replica, the Wing Eagle.
John, great example. Jericho losing the AEW title.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that did happen fairly recently, huh?
That didn't happen recently. That happened like the first time. Jericho was the first champion.
Right. So that was his first run with it when he lost it?
2019.
Okay.
Which I believe was 3 years ago. This is almost 4.
Yeah. Did it turn back up? Did they find it?
I think they found it.
Yeah.
Or they made another one.
It seems like I maybe recall that story and it turned up or somebody found it or something.
Yeah.
Like lost it at the airport or something, his baggage or something.
I know Adam Page almost lost the AEW World title at the airport once.
That's a guy that never should have had it to begin with.
Let's agree to disagree on that one.
I mean, we can agree that you're wrong. That's okay.
Let's go off of our opinions. Let's respect our opinions.
Well, when you've got friends in high places, It affords you certain things that you wouldn't normally have without those friends.
I think when he won the title, he was also a part-time substitute teacher.
Ugh. Ugh.
So yeah, good luck sleeping with that on your mind.
Yeah, I don't think that's a guy that should be working with children. Probably shouldn't be allowed in the vicinity of a school.
What is up with y'all teaming on me today? What's up with this? I feel like
the sissy cowboy.
You want to be a full member of the show? Okay.
Yep, the pretend cowboy. Yep.
I will say Brock Lesnar is more of a cowboy than Paige is.
Yeah, because Paige isn't a cowboy. Nothing about him is cowboy. He plays pretend. Yeah, just the end of the show is just going to devolve into Paige bashing.
We better end it here then, because I'm not for it.
Yeah, you'll get there. You said you weren't going to be an Austin Theory fan, and here we are. So you give us enough time, man. We'll wear you down.
I love Paige's finishing move. The buckshot lariat, absolutely love it. I
No.
love a lot of his moveset.
Why? Why?
Why would the buckshot lariat's pretty cool?
The Logan lariat, man, is much better.
Okay, Logan lariat version of that.
That's an example of when it's done well and done right. Yeah. Not by some sissy cowboy.
It's like, who does it better? It's Logan that does it better, but
oh, of course, no question. See, we got you to admit that, so you're well on your way, man. You'll be a Paige hater in no time.
You say that so casually. You say that without like any remorse.
I don't like the guy at all.
I get that. Like, we have the same opinion on Quincy Elliott. We do not like Quincy Elliott.
Nope.
I can't agree on hating Paige, though. I get he's not very professional, but a lot of his moves are... I like a lot of his moves. I don't like the, pile driver, the behind-the-head pile driver. That's one that can die.
You see those pants?
It's better than whatever Sammy Guevara wore.
It is, but not by much. You see that front butt? See what's going on there, man? Butterfly jeans and a front butt. That's. I mean, do you need much more?
I'm gonna need something stronger than club soda. I believe next episode is just going to be another rant.
Oh, I'll get us canceled.
I'm surprised we're not. We're on episode 10. I thought we'd end at episode 2 with how far this has gone.
I mean, we might already be canceled. Have you seen our numbers?
Dude, we were canceled before we started.
Right.
Oh, man.
Is it going to focus?
Are you talking about the jacket?
Yeah. Yeah, the rainbow tasseled. Yeah.
Oh boy, is it John again? John has another comment. Oh, of course he does.
Oh. Yeah. You just combine those butterfly pants with
You know what? He might actually have a fit with that.
there you go. Check out that jacket paired with those butterfly pants, man. And that's cowboy. That's cowboy stuff right there.
This is a bashing I'm not for.
Oh man. Now I'm all blurry.
Is what you get. I'm gonna end the show like this with you all blurry and all up close. Camera won't adjust right. Won't know the white. Can't focus on the white lens.
Yeah, my camera's had enough.
I guess wanted it here. Wouldn't want to edit there, but I guess wanted it there.
Yeah, I mean it's probably not going to get any better. Like it's probably all downhill from here.
Yeah. Happy holidays, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
This is a regular episode of the Babyface Breakdown. Man, that name doesn't stick. We are such heels.
Yeah, we're gonna have to change it, especially once we get.
We are the Bad Brothers, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that'll be it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. John, you're on the naughty list. I hope you know that. A lot of these if that doesn't say naughty list, John, I don't know what does. Oh, you laughing? You know better. So yeah, we'll see you not next week because that's Christmas. So spend time with your families or whatever you do for the holidays, I guess. And we'll see you the week after next, which is, what day is that? So we got
that's gonna be the 1st.
January 1st. We're ringing in the new year with us.
Yep.
Isn't that great?
Won't see you again until 2023.
Yeah. See you next year. I guess we'll see all y'all next year. I'm Big Bubba Brogdon.
I am a blurry Boosh Dingo, the luchador.
Yes, you are. You're an 8-bit. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
2023, baby.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. I knew you were wearing that shirt for a reason.
Yeah.
With the red light, he looked like Satan for a second.
Tell this guy happy birthday.
Jesus Christ.